button boys. So make some fucking noise. 'Cause they're gonna talk about video gaming and stuff.
Hidden cash.
Welcome to the Butties Afterparty.
Oh, yeah.
We're here like
Hey.
Oh yeah, I should do
Holly
that.
and Phil.
I'll take the bow tie, make it all loose.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
It's Disco Sarah.
Here we go.
Nice.
And I'm staying formal. Welcome to the second part of the Butties, the awards that didn't make it into the main episode. Before we get onto our awards, we did put up a poll on the Discord and on our Instagram of what game we're going to be playing next on the Patreon. We did a full playthrough of Dark Souls if you are new to our Patreon. It took us a few months, and we're looking at what the next game is going to be. Obviously, Pippa Funnel Stud Farm Inheritance is coming up as soon as we work out how to get it playing on a PC. We do own the game. It is going to happen. Don't you worry. But after that, we need to work out what the next game is. We'd each put forward a few nominees. I put forward just one. You guys both put forward two each. The nominations for that were an entire playthrough of Hitman World of Assassination and seeing how we all tackle levels differently. Sarah, what were your two?
The Sims? Not like, because that could go on forever.
Yeah.
The Sims where we make each other.
And who can kill each other first?
And who can murder each other in the best way. What we choose for each other's lives.
Yeah, it's try not to swim.
Try not to swim.
Yeah.
Try not to burn.
Yes, The Sims
And Control.
and a full playthrough of Control. Pierre, your two were?
I was repitching the Button Boys Battalion.
Yes, on Hell Let Loose.
Hell Let Loose to some degree, either all of us or people from the Discord, or the three of us playing Age of Empires 2 multiplayer. I'd just be fascinated to see how you cope with it.
I have no idea which way this is going to go.
These all sounded good.
Possibly involving all three of us teaming up against a celebrity guest who I know who plays Age of Empires 2 and regularly beats me in multiplayer.
All
But
right,
we can do
well,
that as a one-off anyway.
Yes. Yeah, these suggestions aren't off the table forever if they don't win.
Straight in the bin, you fucked it.
But we had an absolute ton of votes on this, and thank you so much, everyone who voted. Thanks so much for passionately getting involved. I can reveal that the runner-up with 18% of the vote was Age of Empires Button Boy Civil War.
Oh,
The game
you okay?
we are going to be playing with more than 45% of the votes.
Whoa.
This was a huge victory. The next game we'll be playing is Hitman World of Assassination. I'm sorry to say that I have won. Now, what we're going to introduce is we're going to introduce a US presidential system in which whatever game comes after Hitman World of Assassination, I will not be putting forward a game. We're not having more than 2 wins on the row. I'm going to sit the next one out. Otherwise, it's a dictatorship. Keith, put the gun down.
Hitman. Yeah, that sounds good.
Hitman World of Assassination.
I'll
And
get behind that.
it will get us in the spirit as well for 007 coming out in a few months, which is made by the same developers.
Yes.
So we'll be so up to date with the engine and how it all works. But I think it's going to be really, really good fun.
Yeah.
It's such an IMSIM in terms of like how you each tackle levels differently. Yours is going to end so bloodily. I know it will, Sarah. Pierre will just dress up in a tuxedo when playing it.
Just walk through.
Yeah, but it can be tackled in so many different ways. I think it's going to be really, really good fun. We'll just do a couple of levels a week and be talking about our thoughts, and you can play along at home as well. But back to the Butties, and let's go on to our next award of the show.
You big butty.
Our next category is the biggest game of 2025 you feel like you should have played, but did not. The nominees are...
The nominees are...
For me, Ark Raiders. Now, I'm not a big multiplayer guy. I don't play a great deal of multiplayer. I like my single-player campaigns. I like end credits. But the more I've heard people talking about this extraction looter shooter in an apocalyptic landscape, and if you're playing just on your own, it's a real sort of like tense situation where you bump into another real person, you're saying down your right phone, don't shoot, I'm a friendly, and having tense standoffs with people. It does sound thoroughly good.
Yeah.
I do think I'm going to play it in the new year. I feel like that's the biggest one that I feel like I've probably missed out on. Civilization, I didn't play this year. Having never played a Civilization game before. I own Monster Hunter Wilds. I haven't played it, having never played a Monster Hunter game. I feel guilty about those, but Ark Raiders seems to have really taken the internet by storm. That is my nominee.
Yeah, that's definitely up there for me, but you've really sold me on Seance on Black Mana. Seance of Black Mana.
You're going to love it.
I know I will. I know I will.
What's the risk?
Oh, no, it's just there's been no time.
Yeah.
Because
It's a short one as well, actually. It's about 5 hours.
It came out quite late in the year, didn't it?
It really did. It came out in time for Halloween, and it's a very Halloween-y game.
And so I between it coming out and hearing about it from you, I haven't had time to just stick it in the old rotation. But I know I will, possibly even before the year ends and the little Christmas break. But it just sounds great. It has so many elements of things that I like.
Yeah, it'd be so thoroughly up your street.
Yeah,
Sarah.
I think so.
Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I left it as my final game of the year to play because I knew I was going to love it. I knew it was going to be a treat, and it's as good as everyone says it is. It
you
is
playing it
really,
now?
really good. I'm playing it
You're
at the
on
moment.
it.
It's really, really good. It's
Yeah.
so gorgeous.
There's so little to say about that because the answer is yes. You know what I mean?
And the winner is of biggest game of 2025. We feel like we should have played but did not. It does go to Ghost of Yete. Well done, Sarah Key. What a letdown. Well done.
Thank you for not doing anything. Yeah.
You guys, what awards categories would you like to present?
Someone on Discord, it was Astrates, I believe, suggested the Pianovelli Award for Realism.
Right.
It's good.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, have your award named after you.
Yeah, well, that's gonna go to Battlefield 6 for the destruction physics.
Yes, nice. Okay.
They're just great, like just the whole front of a building going down. I will say, for all of my slight issues, and they aren't slight with Battlefield 6 multiplayer, when you are in it and a MiG screams overhead and the front of the building in front of you disappears and allows you to go in, all in one fluid motion. It's very, very cinematic.
Yeah.
And like the dust clouds hang around for a realistically long amount of time and obscure things. And yeah, so if it's a game from this year, it's the BF6 multiplayer that's winning the Pianovelli Award for Realism.
That's a good award. It's a good award.
100%, yeah.
The Sarah Keyworth Award for Angriest I've Become Whilst Climbing.
Yes.
There's a lot of candidates.
Two games not from this year.
Okay.
Uncharted 4 and Zelda Breath of the Wild. Which
I mean,
one could win? Probably Zelda because of the slipping.
Yeah, I Uncharted, I quite like the climbing.
Though I had...
There's not much to it.
The only reason I got frustrated with it, but then also slightly impressed with it, was quite recently playing a level where it's raining very heavily, and I realised the full extent of the climbing mechanics because your left stick moves your arms, and then when you hit square, that moves your legs. That's when you push off with your legs, and because it's raining, he can't get any purchase with his feet. So you're having to just use the stick to reach with your arms. And I was like, fuck off.
Well, in January, coming to PlayStation 5 is a game called Cairn, which is a climbing sim where you're playing someone climbing a mountain. You're a mountaineer in which I think you're in control of every limb, and I'm going to make you play it. I want to know.
Are you going to make me do that? You can't make me do anything.
Gun to your butt. I'm going to make you do it.
Oh, come on. Classic Glenn Moore.
The winner is...
Oh, I forgot I had to choose a winner. Zelda.
It's got to be Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Tears of a Kingdom, it was the exact same situation.
So much climbing.
And sliding down when it rains can absolutely fuck off.
Yeah.
The award for most humiliating game to play on public transport. The nominees are Donkey Kong Bonanza,
Yeah.
Hades 2 because of the sexy characters. The winner is Freeloading Succubus, a hentai adventure. I regret playing it on my laptop from Bristol to London at 6 a.m, but it did guarantee me
Stood up.
4 seats to myself
Because of how erect you were.
because of how erect I was.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Freeloading succubus.
Yeah.
He's made it up.
Yeah,
He's made it up.
I
Come on.
can't keep tricking you. You can't keep falling
It's
for
the
this.
end of the year. Don't you know him by now?
It's silly Billy time. It's because I was wearing a tie. I looked
Yeah.
authoritative.
You look like you're doing the news.
We can't sit here and pretend that there isn't a game basically called Freeloading Succubus, a hentai adventure on Steam right
Somewhere.
now.
Yeah,
As
to
part of
be.
a part of a frankly
Waiting to be played.
sacrilegious Christmas sale.
Do you know what happened is I got that title from taking various words from other hentai games. I just Googled hentai games
There
and
you
thought, what have I done to my algorithm? I forgot to put it on private browsing.
Oh, God.
This next award is a tiny bit too specific, potentially.
Okay.
This is best minigame, where in the minigame, you're playing a video game, even though your in-game parents specifically told you to turn it off.
Ooh.
I don't think I've played one of them this year.
And the winner is shared between Despelote and Bad Cheese. That's right, I played 2 games this year where that happens.
Really?
Yep.
What's bad cheese?
Bad Cheese is really good fun. Now, Mouse PI for Hire was one of your most anticipated games of the year.
Yeah, we should say what.
Well, in January, it's going to be our first episode of January, is revisiting where we're at with our Metacritic game and also making our predictions for 2026. Now, Mouse PI for Hire is sort of like, it looks a bit like Cuphead, first-person shooter, and it's in that sort of black and white Steamboat Willie style animation.
Yes.
Bad Cheese is basically a very short hour or 2 horror experience in which you're playing as a mouse in a really weird twisted environment and all the characters look absolutely disgusting. Bad Cheese was actually quite good fun. The minigame in Bad Cheese, now I've spoken about this minigame in Despelote, which is about the Ecuador trying to qualify for the World Cup back in like 2002. And it's seen through a kid's eyes of his experience of watching his team qualify, and you get to play football with your mates in the park, and there's a bit where you're basically playing a really early version of like FIFA, like top down, and your mum stands in front of a TV screen, you're like trying to look around her to play the game. That's the first minigame. Now in Bad Cheese, your terrifying dad tells you to go to bed, and before you go to bed you play in your little Sega Mega Drive in your room. The game that they let you play is so fucking good, even though it would have been easier for me to just gone to bed and definitely gotten through the level. I kept on being like, I can hear his footsteps coming up the stairs. The dad is going to kill me. This game's too good. I need to keep playing it. It's Pong mixed with Vampire Survivors. So Vampire Survivors being that auto shooter game where like you never press fire, like your bullets and stuff just come out of you.
Yeah.
So it's a game of Pong. But it not only, basically, a series of enemies are coming from the right-hand side of a screen, and you're just hitting your Pong ball up and down to hit those enemies, and then they bounce back to you. Right. However, once you've killed a few enemies and sent that ball back a few times, you suddenly get a new weapon, and you're like, oh, every 10 seconds, a mine appears in on their side and just blows up and obliterates a bunch of their enemies. And it's kind of like Ball Pit, actually, but to the side. And it's just a minigame. It's better than Bad Cheese. Like, it's better than the game. So it's a shared award, our first shared award of the evening. Congratulations to Despelote and to Bad Cheese. What other awards have we got?
Well done to the pair of you.
We have suggested from the Discord, Glenn Moore's award for telling him he's a good boy.
Oh.
So who do you think told you were a good boy the most this year?
I'd say it would have to be Ball Pit for just relentless reward. Just relentless. You did it. Level up, level up, level up. There was no skill.
Great.
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
Well done.
I enjoyed Ball Pit and I don't respect it because it's a casino and I know what it's doing to me. So there was that. And I'd say Wonder Stop, the tea-making game, because I got very burnt out this year work-wise, and I'll be much less burnt out next year. That's my resolution, is to just take on fewer things. But Wonder Stop was a game where it was like, do less. Like, genuinely make tea for the customers coming into your store. And it was a mechanic that I found irritating at first, but started to appreciate, is that sometimes there'd be no customers, and I'd say to my boss, what do you want me to do? And the boss would be like, sometimes there's nothing to do. And this would only happen for like 10 seconds at a time. And at first I was like, well, the game's broken, isn't it? Because a game needs to give you something to do. But actually, I started to just walk around the yard, just sweeping up and tidying up and cleaning the mugs in the little dishwasher. And it was like,
still did things.
Yeah.
I still did things, but in a more relaxed way. Well,
it's an illness.
I was going to have an award for I was going to have an award for worst life lesson learned. I don't know if I've spoken about this on the pod. This is a spoiler for Wonder Stop, so don't listen to me if you and skip ahead for about 30 seconds if you want to play the game for yourself. But at the very, very end, you finally build up your strength enough to go and be a knight in the woods again. And your friendly companion, who has helped you work at this shop for ages, says, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. You could become a warrior and see how you become as a warrior again and see if you've still got the energy. Or maybe you could stay here forever and just make tea for people. And he said, but whatever you choose, I'd like you to make me one last cup of tea. Whatever you want, whatever flavour you want. And
so
I
nice.
said, I am going to go back to work. So I dismissed his claims of working at the tea shop and I made him the worst fucking cup of tea I've ever made in my life. I put dirt and soil in it. I gave him that. And then I went into the woods to burn myself out even more. And then the credits rolled. And I don't think that's what the game wanted me to do. I don't think that's what the game wanted me to do.
What happened to you at the end there? Why are you so mad?
Yeah, you can put like dirt in coffee. Yeah.
After everything he did for you.
I know. I was just like, fuck you, I'm going to go to work.
Did you select the dialogue option, you knew I was a scorpion when you hired me? Fucking hell, man. Did he go, this is disgusting? And you go, yeah, fuck you.
He went,
I
I'm
think
glad
he was
you're
like,
leaving.
But he was like, he talks in a very specific way. He was like, this is being an interesting flavour. And it was like, you hate me and I hate you because I'm going to go to work. So I'm going to fucking earn my keep. Not making tea in a shop where no one pays you.
You made a game into the opposite of every American Christmas film, where the dad stops talking on the enormous mobile phone about Deutschmarks and deals.
Yeah.
And he takes off his jacket and he sits down to play a non-name brand remote control car racing.
Yeah. I'm in a Christmas movie where the dad is desperately trying to avoid his son's nativity play.
Yeah.
That's the film I'm in. I'm in one that basically ends with the character aspires to become a burnt-out journalist by the end. They move away from
Spit
Paris.
in the boy's face and say, "Welcome to the real world."
Yeah.
There's a moment at the end of the film where you sit down with all the kids and go, "You like your fucking toys?" "Well, it's because I go to war." You do an insane Death of a Salesman. Or
I'm Willy Loman the gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just do a whole speech about work and money.
Yeah.
And then that's the end.
It's the
You look down the camera, and I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it's the most I've ever gotten a game wrong, and I'm fine with that.
We have a submission from somebody in the Discord. Proto Destroyer, laziest name for a MacGuffin, goes to Split Fiction for the evil machine called the Machine.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in Split Fiction. It feels like they just didn't want to have to do plot. They were like, we've made a bunch of amazing mini games.
Yeah.
Can we just give you those?
Yeah.
And you select them from a menu.
That is my biggest. Now we're behind a paywall. My biggest criticism of Split Fiction is
now the fucking nerds have gone with the cool kids.
Yeah. Gather. My biggest criticism is that plot-wise, I didn't feel gripped by the cojones.
Yeah, whereas like
And I
It Takes
wanna
Two
be.
was divorce and it was a big deal, and
Yeah.
A
But
Way
I
Out,
was-
the previous one, was we're trying to escape from fucking prison.
It Takes Two. I thought they were going to get back together.
Yeah, it was like marriage. I remember watching Marriage Story with my
Yeah.
parents.
I
for
said they're
Adam
gonna work
Driver
this
film.
out.
And at the end credits came up and my mum went, I thought we were going to get back together. And I was like, what bit of the film implied that?
Yeah, that was me at the end of It Takes
It's
Two.
going to be quite a fucking turnaround.
Louisa was like, they shouldn't get back together. That guy is,
Cody was a
he's not good
fucking
enough for
nut.
her.
Yeah.
But I was rooting for him, man. Probably because I was playing as him.
Yeah, maybe it does bias you. Catchiest song in a game
Yeah.
or soundtrack. I will say, another aspect that's underrated about Blueprints is its sort of 25-hour, undefinable, slightly jazz, sort of modern jazz soundtrack.
I didn't tend
Elevator
to play it with
music.
the sound on.
You were?
Not a great deal. I sort of thought I had the one bit of music that I really liked in Blueprints, that I really like, because it's very, very gentle. Just the occasional violin pluck, essentially, is kind of what it is.
Kind of.
But when I got to the end, I was gonna reach room 46. The game knew I was able to do it. This new music came in.
Yeah.
Even though I was ages away from doing it, this new music came in of you're going to fucking do it this time.
Yeah.
That felt thoroughly
Pierre
good.
singing the Butties song.
Celebrating.
You're gonna get inside room 46.
I really felt it. It gave me the push. I was working out how many steps I had left and how many rooms, and it was like the game was like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen for you.
Though a few times in the game, you trigger something and it knows you're about to achieve something, and it starts playing.
That
Ooh.
is
Faster.
thoroughly good.
It'd be
Really,
horrible if
really
you couldn't
good.
work it out, though.
And it started
that
playing-
music's
Yeah.
playing and you're like, I don't know.
And after too long, it started playing. Boy, what is it now? Like really dumb noises, and
Yeah, every room you draft is called toilet room, and you go, it's not even bathroom. It's just called toilet room.
just school. Go back to school. Idiot library.
Yeah, hallway, but fucking stupid. For your next award, speaking of Blueprints, the RNG award for Glenn is not allowed to play this game. The nominees are Blueprints and Keep Driving. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It's not Blueprints. I'm going to nominate the game Keep Driving. This is a pixel art game that came out a few months ago. And the idea is you're just like a college student over the summer and you get into your 70s car that you've got. And it's a pixel art side scroller in which you're just driving to a music festival. But across the way, you just end up having random encounters. You go to random towns to fill up petrol, eat, make sure you're all stocked up and ready for your journey ahead. You can also pick up hitchhikers and they give you sort of buffs and debuffs for the various weird battle encounters you get. You end up having battle encounters which are like, you're stuck behind a slow-moving lorry. What do you do?
Right.
And then you have a series of RNG kind of attacks of you try and maneuver around it and then that might pass and it might fail. I didn't get to the music festival and I tried the game 11 times.
Wow.
Most people
No.
do it. Most people's complaint with the game was, I reached the music festival and the game just ends. I thought it was going to carry on after that. My complaint was, I never got to the music festival.
There's something.
Were you dressed like that?
Fuck yeah. Shit.
There's something. You've got something like the special intra-dimensional gravity from Interstellar, but that fucks up random number generators for you.
It's so, but I wonder if you watched me play a game, it'd be like, watch me play and see what's going on. And I put my laptop over my head and just start clapping into it. Can you see what's going on?
Yeah, I think I can identify.
Maybe I'm just bad at games.
Yeah, like that guy. There's the story about a guy who was complaining of headaches, and he had like a full like nail up his nose or something.
Yeah.
yeah. That's you
But like
in the
sticking
game.
out, and the doctor's like, it's that.
I've got
it's
it.
obviously
Yeah.
Or the guy
Yeah.
who thought someone was breaking into his house and leaving him weird, creepy messages, and it was him leaving himself messages, and he had a carbon monoxide leak.
That's quite nice to leave little gifts for
You've
yourself.
got a
That's how I treat Amazon packages for me.
You've got that gas-powered laptop. That's the problem.
Yes,
It's got a carbon monoxide leak.
Yeah, and I don't think because my laptop keeps beeping every hour.
Do you think the problem with these games is that you're trying to rush them?
No, because I've been doing more than 100 games, as in reaching end credits on at least 100 games since 2020. And I've kind of worked out, and I make a list whenever I've done them. I don't know why. I just like to do that. And I know now how to sort of compartmentalize my time. And I've got usually a good enough gauge when going into a game of what's realistically going to take 100 hours. Like if it's an Assassin's Creed, you go, even just to do the main story, we're looking at minimum 60 hours. And then there's certain indie games, and you go, that's going to be 3 hours, and that'll be fine. I only really would try and rush a game if it's a game where I feel like to be part of the conversation, I should have played it and I should have reached the end, and I just don't enjoy it. I'm trying to think of an example from this year. Probably Assassin's Creed Shadows, I really wasn't into, and I found myself really powering through on the cusp of skipping cutscenes. Like I just don't care.
I think part of 98% of your Blueprints problem is your RNG disease.
Yes, and the other part was I was just trying to do that one task of reach room 46, and there's more to the game than that.
But the difficulty is that because I decided to approach it broadly, I spent so much more time going like, well, I'll just sit in this room, even though I know I'm not going to reach the thing today, and I'll just figure out the thing in this room, and then the thing in this room got me like 80% closer to getting to room 46.
Yeah.
So there is no side quest in Blueprints to a degree.
This is how
Choose your own side quest.
They do feel like side quests, so they feel irrelevant, but they get you there.
That's what I really enjoyed about Saints of Blake Manor was I enjoyed writing. I know we spoke about like I'm not someone who usually makes notes in games, but I liked making a little to-do list on my phone on Saints of Blake Manor of okay, I know the maid is going to be in this room between 9 and 10, so I need to talk to her between 9 and 10. This other guy's going to be in the dining room at 10 a.m, so I need to talk to him, and I know that room's going to be empty at midday, so I need to go to that room at midday. What would happen is that first person you speak to, the maid in whatever room, that suddenly spirals off into a new quest. And you go, it's overrunning, so I'm not going to speak to that guy at 10. But okay, fine. And you just have to change your plan on the fly. Yeah. And I love doing that in Saints of Blake Manor. And for some reason, I didn't in Blueprints. And I know that's my own fault because I really loved it in Disco Elysium. It was like shifting the president's plans.
Yes.
He can no longer make his 6 o'clock, so we need to do this at 7. But scheduling in games, I would love to play any game of just like President's Diary Sim. I'd absolutely play that.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely play like this event's just come up. There's been a terror attack. He can no longer read this kid's book at the nursery.
You just came up with that.
Yeah. There's been a second one. He really can't do the kids reading at the nursery. But I think it'd be quite a good fun game, like rearranging someone's schedule on the fly. Because I think that's actually one of my favorite aspects of video games.
All your favorite games are work. All your favorite games are work.
Yeah.
There's never been a man more born to have every job.
I should have been an accountant. I absolutely should have been an accountant.
Or somehow a guy who has a different job 5 days a week, like every day.
Yeah.
So like you're Kirk from Gilmore Girls.
I fucking hate Kirk. To a point where I don't like seeing him in other films.
Really?
I saw him in Suicide Squad and it was like, fuck off.
Kirk.
Not the actor, Kirk.
Yeah. Because it is Kirk.
Yeah, same with Kirk from Coronation Street.
They set up enough about Kirk in Gilmore Girls that he can't ever not be Kirk. Because it makes contextual sense that he would be doing that job.
Must be awful to be typecast in a role that wasn't big enough to fulfill you for the rest of your life. That must be awful. Like, you're typecast as shitting pants extra. And you get, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Poopman.
Yes.
You're the Poopman.
You're Donald Poopman, yeah.
Claire Obscure made me laugh in the first moment of gameplay because it made me think about you rushing through games and the complaint that everybody has about NPCs where you're talking to a character and she goes, come on, let's go find Sophie. And then you sort of blink and she's like a mile down the road.
Yeah.
And it's like they've gone, right, we'll do the opposite then. And for a moment I was like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. She's gone. And I was like, oh, she's all the way over there. But then you can run really fast as well. So it's very satisfying.
Yeah, Claire Obscure doesn't fuck about because it does immediately present you with a town full of people and you immediately go, I know these people won't be a big part of the game, so do I have to talk to them? Did you find the mime at the beginning of Claire Obscure?
No.
It's like an insanely hard boss battle early on. Mimes are like a frequent enemy. You come in.
What?
Claire Obscure
It really is
so
an
French,
FRPG.
it sometimes feels xenophobic, and you go, are we sure this was made by a team?
But you
of
fight a
France?
mime before you leave the...
You can, yeah.
Ooh.
And mimes are impossible. You can't attack them normally. You've got to parry all their attacks. It's very, very complicated. It's tricky. And
What are their attacks with invisible weapons? Surely mimed weapons.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. That's what it is.
So they mime like a big hammer, like in a
Yeah,
cartoon.
and
Not real, Pierre.
There's lots of mini games in
It is
Claire
a
Obscure
game.
where what you win is a fucking like
There's gonna
French
be rules.
outfit.
Yeah.
Like you can earn Gustave like a red beret, literally like, you know, black and white stripy t-shirt. It's a lot of that. It is the most French game that's ever existed. Has to have been.
Fucking hell. Is there a bit in the game where you have a sort of 4-hour lunch in the middle of every mission? A really long, nice lunch.
Yeah.
It's illegal to play the game after 5 p.m. and before 9 a.m. the next day.
Well, they travel on this boat into where this goddess is, who's because the premise is that there's this goddess on an island who every day writes a new year, and whatever that number writes a new number, whatever that new number is.
Every day, once a year.
It's once a year.
Yeah.
Writes down a number, and it's a decreasing number. It starts on like 100, and it's gradually gone down every year. And whatever that number is, everyone that age will die at the end of the year.
That age and above.
Oh.
So you're Expedition 33 because you're a bunch of 33-year-olds, and you are the oldest people now in your town. And there's no one older than that. Everyone else has died. So when you're going through when you're on this island, you end up seeing all the bodies of airships and boats of all the previous
Expeditions
that have gone. So it's really, really fascinating. But because it is so French, when you first get on that boat, you do need a traffic cone and a fluorescent vest. Legally, because otherwise you'll no, obviously.
fully happy to believe it. Fully happy to believe it.
Yeah, but the goddess is her name is Marine Le Pen, and she is a goddess.
Right.
Yeah. It's time to reveal because obviously at the end of all these episodes on our Patreon, I always give a recommendation of a game that I think you might not have heard of or may not have played that I personally really enjoyed. I think you might like as well.
And this one won an award.
My best game of 2025, not from 2025. This is a game called Closer the Distance. Now, I brought this up because a few weeks ago, you were playing Spiritfarer.
I was.
And Spiritfarer is great, and it is ultimately a grief game. This is what Closer the Distance is as well. I describe it as Bumped Out The Sims, in which you are in a small town and you play at first a teenage girl whose older sister gets killed in a car accident. And you're in a very, very small town. There's a town of only about 20 people or so, maybe even about 15.
Should I take the tie off my head while you talk about it?
No, it's still respectful enough.
Yeah.
There's about 15 of you in this town.
Yeah.
And the idea is it's a bit like a nicer version of The Lovely Bones, in which you are in control of the spirit of the girl who was killed in a car accident. And you are basically trying to help the individual members of this town through their various days. They've got to prepare for the funeral, but also there's a lot of stuff going on in the town, a big sort of town project that, you know, life goes on. They've still got to work on that. But also everyone else in the town has got very strained relationships. Her ex-boyfriend's still around. Her family's still around. The people she used to work for are still around. And so each day you take control of the various people in that town, like in The Sims, and you basically have to work out how to get them to manage their day. And a lot of them just want to spend the entire day on the sofa, and they can, but you know, it'd be more fulfilling of them if they sort of made a healthy meal. But in doing so, that's going to take up a lot of time of their day, and they might not be able to go to work, for instance, that day. It's not as garish as that sort of sounds. It is very sensitive, and the interactions that you have with people all seem very, very real, and the interplay they have with each other. And the idea is you're almost trying to solve each individual person's lives. And the moment you've got someone's life sort of back on track and they're not over it, but they're coping with it, you then no longer control them. They've kind of almost sort of got it together, as it were. Yeah. And then you're gradually minimalising the pool of people that you are in control of. I think it's the most emotionally effective I've ever been by a game. I played it at the beginning of this year. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It is intense and it is very, very heavy. And I was working out whether or not to sort of bring it up as a game, but it is the best thing I've played this year that isn't from this year. But I'd highly recommend it. I think you've got to be in the right headspace to be able to play it, I'd say. But it's really, really special. It's got a really nice art style as well. It looks like Kentucky Route Zero, sort of like quite exaggerated, cartoony, but in a nice, sensitive way. But it's gorgeous and it's great, and that's close to the distance. Sorry if I bummed you out. But that's my recommendation. We're so grateful to have you as a Patreon subscriber. If you know people who like the podcast or you think would enjoy the podcast and you want them to listen and you want them to be on the Patreon as well, remember you can gift a subscription for Christmas or any time of the year, and you can choose however many months you want to do it for.
Or if you just want to confuse your dad.
Yeah.
If you want to confuse your dad, someone who doesn't know technology at all, you can gift someone a 12-month subscription if you like, but also you can choose 1 month, you can choose 3 months, whatever you think is appropriate or would make them happy. We are going to be back next week, of course. If you do like these episodes, do tell your friends. Do make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and Spotify. Give us a rating and give us a nice comment as well. But tell people about this podcast because we love making it and we love having you part of it, and we'd like to expand our audience increasingly. We're so grateful to the many, many of you who listen, and it's going up in ways that we couldn't even imagine, and we're very, very happy about that. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Pierre. We've all been the Button Boys.
Well, we've gone a bit sad, haven't we?
How about that? Is that better? You like a bit of that sort of
Maybe more sad.
And remember this Christmas, dogs die.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
remember.
That's the advert, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will die.
Dogs aren't just for Christmas.
Yeah.
They die.
They die. So,
Bear that in mind.
yeah.
Think about
Get-
that when you're opening your dog up.
Get to get
I think it's a bottle of something. Stop it.
get 2 or 3.
Get
2 or 3.
And we'll see you next week.
Fill up on dogs this Christmas. People are panic buying them.
Button Boys.